This is the fourth message in the series that I'm speaking on about healing, about the healing of mind, body, and our experiences. And I'd like to share this morning on how the use of our spiritual faculty of imagination, which is one of our 12 spiritual gifts from God, can help us name, claim, and experience healing on every level of our life. But first, I want to ask how many of you watched the Super Bowl? Would that be everybody? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, okay. What happened there? Okay. Okay. Every year, I go over Laverna's house. She's my 92-year-old, well, 92 and a half. She'll be 93 in June, on June 22nd. Okay. I go over and watch the Super Bowl with her. I had forgotten about it, and she called me up on Friday and said, "Are you coming?" And I'm thinking, coming to what? Okay, she said the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll be there. So we have pizza. We have 2 different kinds of pizza. Okay, we got celery. Okay, carrots. Okay, she tries to do the healthy thing on me. Okay, there was all kinds of dips and chips and all that other stuff there, and we had a good time. We always do, but you know, we're not that involved in sports, football either, you know, and so basically we root for the plays rather than the teams usually. Oh, that was a good play. Look how far they got on the markers or whatever. I'm not sure all the terms they have. Okay, the different downs and that kind of thing. We do know when they're running the wrong way. Okay. On the field, okay? But this time, since it was the Kansas City Chiefs, we decided we would just go for it and we would cheer for that team, okay? Not for the plays, for that team, okay? And you see, this year when we did that, it wasn't looking that good for the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? For most of that game, okay? And so we were feeling, I guess, the emotion that a lot of fans were probably feeling, okay? And it got to the last quarter and the last 8 minutes of the game, okay? And I think they were 10 behind or something like that. And they got 3 touchdowns and something else. They kicked that ball off or something like that. Okay. Anyway, they won the game. Okay. Who knew? Okay. Who knew? Okay. And so we were very excited that when we finally decided to cheer for a particular team, that they won. Okay, we kind of like to think that we had something to do with it.
We all did.
I guess what we really enjoy about that is we enjoy the commercials. I know that might seem strange, okay, but we look for the creative commercials and the ones that are touching, you know, pull on your heartstrings, those kind of things here. And there were a couple, but nothing really struck me as memorable this year, okay? So that was a little bit of a letdown. And the halftime show was J-Lo and Shakira. So it was kind of Latino, you know, halftime, the music, and very lively, very, very good, okay? So it was a great game. But I want to share something that I learned about the Chiefs quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. See? Thank you. Patrick Mahomes. And during that last quarter, when it didn't look so good for the Chiefs, I understand that he went around to his teammates and he said, "We got this baby, you know? We got this baby, okay?" And it didn't look like they had it, okay? They were down, but he had a vision for this team. And so he kept that vision alive, and they won. So he wasn't focused on the fact that they were down so many points and they only had so many more minutes in the game, and the reversals that the 49ers did, and all of this other stuff here. He kept the vision, as Paul in the Bible says, he kept his eyes on the prize. He kept his eye, and he kept that dream alive in him and for his teammates, and we're all very glad that that worked out for them. there was a lot going on Super Bowl day. I understood that the head coach, Andy Reid's 222nd professional win happened on that day, February 2nd. And if you look up the number 222 online with the Angel Numbers website, the message for this particular configuration has to do with balance. It has to do with manifesting miracles. And this certainly was appropriate for the Chiefs. And had the Chiefs looked up this 222 number on this website, they would have found another message that was also very appropriate. A message that their quarterback already knew. Dreams take time, the message says. You need to renew your faith and know that you are on the right track. You need to focus on the positive things that you want instead of flooding your mind with the negative things that you fear. You must put in the effort toward your soul's desire and not be discouraged if it doesn't seem to bear fruit. Everything will happen in its own time, and your efforts will be rewarded. This is all under the understanding or interpretation of the 222 on the Angel Number website. I think it is all too often that as we dream of something better in our lives, as we dream about and desire the healing that we need physically, the healing in our relationships, the healings in our pocketbook, okay, we sabotage ourselves with negative thoughts, negative thinking. That's where we focus. We become consumed with all the reasons why things will not work out. And this may have been the feeling of the team members of the Chiefs during much of the game, which occasioned Patrick Mahomes to move about his players and to give them individual uplifting moments. We got this, baby. Okay. So many times did Jesus speak about the power of our belief and of our faith to move us past troubling situations, negative situations. So many times was Jesus saying to us, in effect, don't worry, you got this, baby. Both Jesus and Mahomes had a way of seeing, a way of viewing the world that we can learn from. Being able to see as Jesus saw the world and as Mahomes saw the victory for his team called forth the mighty use of the gift of imagination. In Unity, we understand that the imagination, this is not some child's folly or wishes or fantasies. This is a spiritual gift that we were born with, a spiritual faculty called the imagination. And it is part of our job as spiritual beings, expressing through this humanist, to learn how to use all of the 12 spiritual gifts that God has given us. Last week we spoke about love, and that's one of the 12. And imagination here is another. The imagination in us is a powerful faculty. Fillmore says that with our imagination, we lay hold of ideas. And I always like to think of just grabbing up all these individual spiritual ideas that God sends into the world, okay? Grabbing it up and giving it shape and form. In other texts, the imagination is called the scissors of the mind, okay? It's that faculty that we have, or spiritual gift that we have, that allows us to give shape and form to this invisible substance all around us and that the world is made out of. Our body is the product of mind or consciousness. And the pictures that we create and hold on to in our mind, these images that we energize with our thought and with our feelings, eventually appear in our experience in some kind of way. Here at Unity, we practice and understand the law of mind action, which is thoughts held in mind will produce of their kind, because thoughts are creative. Everything that we see that has shape and form in this world was at first an invisible idea in someone's mind, in the mind of the Creator. And through mind, through word, as Genesis tells us, invisible substance takes on form and shape. Okay, so if we feel, so thoughts are things. They are energy. They move things. They create things. They shape things. Okay, and it behooves us to be aware of this faculty of imagination and learn how to use it in a positive way. You know, we understand that the imagination has a lot of influence on our bodies. Okay, for example, if I mention the fruit lemon, okay, most of you probably will have conjure the image of a lemon, okay, the little bumpy surface and that kind of thing on the outside, the smell of a lemon, okay, and if you can imagine holding that in your hand. Well, first, let's, in imagination, cut the lemon in half, okay? Now you can smell the lemon smell, okay? And then when you take it up and you squeeze that lemon, the juice into a glass, and then pick it up and take a big gulp of that, what happens? Yes, you may salivate, or your mouth puckers, you may have a strange look on your face, okay? There may be some people who like that really sour taste, but me, I gotta add a lot of sugar with that, okay? And water to make lemonade. But this tells us how our thoughts influence our bodies, okay? The subconscious mind immediately responds, or autonomic nervous system, I should say, has us respond to an imaginary lemon. It's not real. It's just in our imagination, yet the body responds, okay? And understanding how this works, this is the key to actually using the imagination in our healing processes, because our body does respond, okay? We can put fearful thoughts into our mind, and the body, the subconscious mind, will respond as if the bear or the tiger or the dinosaur is coming for us, okay? Because we've got the fearful thoughts in our mind. And this, of course, causes the body to generate certain hormones, stress hormones, okay? And the 4 different responses, fright, fight, flight, or freeze, overcomes us. Now, the problem with activating this stress hormone so much is it begins to become habitual for us. So any slight thing that triggers something similar to what frightened us in the past also begins triggering that stress response. Now, if we decide to change what we're focusing on, and instead we think of pleasant things, okay? I mean, the Apostle Paul did say, if there's anything that is of good report, if there's anything that's lovely, if there's anything that is gracious, think on these things. I believe that's Philippians 4:8. Okay, I'm not sure, but I think that's Philippians 4:8. Think on those things. And he gave that instruction for a reason, because somewhere along the line, Paul understood that with our thoughts, we influence our body. Okay? With our thoughts, we create feelings, and those feelings are located in the subconscious level of mind. We have conscious level of mind, we're aware of things around us. We have the subconscious, where the feelings are held and memory is held. And we have the superconscious level of mind, okay? That's the level that we experience in meditation, in prayer, okay? We connect with something greater than our human self. We connect with that which is higher than us. We connect with that presence of God that Jesus said dwells within us, the kingdom within, Luke 17:21. So we connect with that. And that is connecting with that presence on that superconscious level of mind. So guided imagery can be used for a bunch of stuff. I brought a book along. Now this is one of the oldies but goodies, okay? This is guided imagery. There it is. for self-healing, an essential resource for anyone seeking wellness. Now, I will tell you that this book was originally copyrighted in the year 2000, okay? Martin L. Rossman, Dr. Rossman, is the author of the book. This is a marvelous book because it not only talks about the use of the imagination for healing, it also gives scripts, meditation scripts, that you can adapt for your own purposes, okay? And for our meditation here, I'm going to be sharing a script that is called Creating Your Wellness, well-being script, okay, for the meditation. I think that you will enjoy it, okay? A very important part of using the imagination properly is being able to relax mind and body, okay? And breathing is often used as a tool for relaxing mind and body, okay? Rossman writes that imagery is the currency of dreams and daydreams, memories and remnants, plans, projections, and possibilities. He says it's the language of the arts, the emotions, but most important, it's the language of the deeper self in us. Without imagination, humanity would have become extinct a long time ago, because the imagination is what has given us the ability to conceive new possibilities, to discover fire, to create weapons, to cultivate the fields and grow crops, to construct buildings and invent cars and airplanes and TVs and spaceships and all of these things, okay? Because again, whatever is in this universe is made out of the invisible substance of God. And in its natural state, it has no shape and form. But right there in Genesis, okay, when God created man, he gave man the ability to name things. And when we name them, in our mind, we give them a certain quality. You know, like the Indian idea that when you give a child a name, you are recognizing a certain quality in them or a quality that you would like to see them expressing. So when we name things, we are naming them and we are claiming them. And we experience the nature of these things based on how we think of them. Okay. Our imagination allows us to react to current stressors, meaning the dinosaur is real and is coming after us right now, but it also causes us to respond to anticipated dangers, some that never materialize. Using focused imagery in a relaxed state of mind has been known to affect the heart rate, our blood pressure, our respiration, oxygen consumption in the body, the brainwave rhythms, various hormones and neurotransmitters in the brain, the blood, and also the immune system. But there is a misunderstanding about using imagery, because a lot of people think that you have to be able to envision things, okay, see things with your mind. I've never been able to see things. I feel and sense things. It's almost like vision, but it's kind of different, okay? Because I sense the form, I sense the color, picking up on the energy of these things, rather than actually seeing, you know, the house with the roof here and that kind of thing here. I sense it. But we all have the imagination, and we all experience the use of it in various ways. Some people, in imagination, they have vivid images, okay? Some people hear sound. Other people, again, like me, sense things. Your imagination can allow you to smell certain things or to recognize certain patterns of energy in life. So while imagery includes what we see mentally, it also consists of what we hear within and what we see within with heart and mind rather than eyes. It has sensations and the emotions that we feel. Most of the meditations that we all experience use guided imagery in them. Usually using words or music to relax ourselves, okay, to pull back the focus of our attention from out here and around us, we move into that interior place here. When Jesus taught his disciples to pray, meaning us to pray, he said, close the door, enter into that inner secret place, okay, and pray to the Father. So in our guided imagery and meditation, we usually use that some technique to move people into that interior place. So most everyone has experienced guided imagery, and we all use it all the time. Okay? We use imagery all the time. All right, what if I say fried chicken? Okay, anybody salivating? Okay, I don't know, maybe barbecue's your thing. Okay, it works. A pizza works for me pretty good. Okay, gets the juices going. Gets the juices going and that kind of thing. Okay, so even as simple as that. Okay, it's a beautiful day. I looked at the sky coming. I'm a sky person. Okay, one of the reasons that I love Kansas is because I like 180-degree sky. Okay, you don't have that back where I came from in Newark, New Jersey, with the skyscrapers and the tall buildings and all of that stuff here. So I like being able to see 500 miles. There's a song called 500 Miles. Okay, I'm not going to sing it. Okay, all right. I know my place. But Rossman has filled his book with wonderful imagery scripts, and you can go online, okay, and you can download imagery scripts. Now, Rossman says that he suggests that when you do that, you record that script. It's good to have it in your own voice, okay? It's kind of becomes a auto-suggestion kind of thing here. But if you're not comfortable with your own voice, he suggests get a friend to record it for you or to read that script to you so you can just relax your mind and body and take that in and allow the images associated with that to come. Imagery assists us toward well-being in many ways, not only healing, but with regular relaxation, we are calmer. We can meet the challenges of our day from a different place, from a more centered place. Okay, so using guided imagery helps us to reprogram the subconscious mind and the child self. Okay, who can be frightened, who can be scared, who can be angry, who can respond and react in certain ways. We're calmer, more centered. Okay, because we are putting some kind of control to the images that we are creating, becoming aware of those images. And imagery helps us, again, reduce stress, increasing our vitality, and it certainly will improve the quality of our day. There's something called revisioning, and this is a process of, at the beginning of your day and at the end of your day, reprogramming your feelings. You can't change the experiences that you've had during the day, but you can change the energy that is generated in you when you think about that situation. That day, perhaps, at the office, the boss yelled at you, okay, or your coworker had a triple fit about something, okay, and it wasn't a pleasant experience, so you carry a certain kind of energy in responding to that situation, okay? And so revisioning, using the imagination to just sit back and move through that, go back to that experience and change the energy of that experience, okay? This is not a magical whatever. We have control over our thoughts, which then generate our feelings, okay? And so what we were doing is taking the negative energy that we have given to that and pulling that back, okay? So that even though we can't change what happened, we can change how we see ourselves responding, reacting to it. And so the next time something close to that triggers that subconscious memory, we won't react in a way that is not highest and best for us. So imagery is very, very important. We can review chapters of our lives, and using revision, you can actually go back in the past. Okay, something happened, and a situation where someone was hurt, and the other individual is no longer available for you to connect with, for there to be this actual outer forgiveness. But you can use revisioning to go in your mind to image this person and have a conversation with them and ask for forgiveness and receive forgiveness or give forgiveness in your mind. Now, the funny thing about the subconscious level of mind is it doesn't know what's true or not. Whatever you give it, it accepts that that's how it is. So in your mind, when you forgive that person for hurting you, and you let that situation go, your subconscious mind accepts that's what you have done, that you have contacted that person and you have forgiven them and let that situation go. So this is a benefit because we can work this for our healing purposes. And even though that other person, they may have passed on in life, or they may be distant and we can't connect, or the situation could be a dangerous thing to try to connect with. But we can experience the healing through using the imagination this way. We are all connected spiritually. And there's no time or distance in spirit. So in this way, we know that all souls want to be free. No one wants to have anger and resentment and all of these other negative things being carried on their back. So we can free them and we can free ourselves. And we can accept forgiveness from them because on a soul level, they want to give it. That divine love within wants to give that. We can use imagination to visit with a wise being, our own higher self, the Christ within. We can use visualization to have a conversation with this divinity within, this guidance within. Ask it questions. And something I love is we can use the gift of imagination to communicate with our symptoms. Okay? If we are going through a physical challenge, we can ask that cold what it wants from us. Why does it keep lingering on, or allergy, or whatever it is? And we can hear what it says, and we can ask, well, what do you want me to do? Okay? And how can I work with you so that we can get past this? Just as if it was a friend. Remember when I shared the healing of Myrtle Fillmore? She spoke to her body. She went to the cells in her body, the muscles, nerves in her body, and she spoke to them, praising them for doing a good job, okay? After 2 years of doing this, she was healed from all of these ailments that she had, okay? She envisioned them working the way that they were supposed to be working. She was using the faculty of imagination, okay? Along with her words, the power of affirmation. So, working with imagery is fun, okay? You can use it for just about anything, okay? As I said, troubling relationships, okay? Heck, if you're having a financial problem here, you can sit down with your pocketbook, okay? And you can have a serious conversation. I know, it sounds funny. A serious conversation with your pocketbook, okay? I've done that, okay? It's pretty interesting, okay? And I wanted to know why it kept emptying itself out so often, okay? And of course, I realized from the wisdom that it shared with me that I needed to be a better steward of my resources, okay? Yes, you can have fun with this, okay? It's good. So, let's move now into this script. It's called your Wellness Imagery. And John, we might leave that on, okay, as long as we're going to go here. Okay, we begin by relaxing might like to close your eyes, sit back in your seat, and just let your shoulders down, slump in your chair, be comfortable. Let the chair hold you up, okay? You don't need to do that, okay? Take several deep and full breaths and release this air. And in your mind, let it carry out and away from you any stress, any tension, any worry or anxiety, concerns about the rest of your day. You don't have to be concerned about that now, worry about that now. You can drop it, and then when you leave, you can pick that up whenever you want, okay? But for now, you can choose to let that go. Within, there is this place, this kingdom, okay, where there is peace, where you are safe, where you experience inspiration and guidance. Allow your breathing to follow its natural rate and rhythm. And just relax more deeply with each breath. Allow the gentle movement of your chest and your abdomen to take you more deeply inside. Invite your body to relax and become supported by the surface beneath it. As you relax more deeply, your mind can become quiet and still. When you are ready, imagine yourself going inside to that special inner place of deep peacefulness, a place you have visited before. Take some time to notice what you see there. What do you hear in this special place? Is there a fragrance here? Especially notice the sense of peacefulness, quiet, and security that you feel in this place. Breathe naturally as you realize that this is your special inner place. A place you can come to for rest, for healing, for learning things that will be helpful for you. Take some time and find the spot where you feel most deeply relaxed, most quiet, centered, and connected to the natural healing qualities of this special place. When you're ready, allow an image of you enjoying wellness to arise. Welcome the image as it forms in your awareness and allow it to become clear. Take some time to notice what you observe. It may look like you, or it may be a symbolic representation. What does it look like? How does this image seem to feel to you? In this special place of healing, are there other people, places, or things in this image of wellness? What qualities does this image embody? What is it about this image that conveys to you a sense of your wellness? When you feel ready, imagine yourself becoming the image. Notice how that feels to take on that image, to become that image of wellness. feelings of well-being are around about you and within you. Imagine looking out of the eyes of this image. How does the world look to you from here? Imagine looking back at yourself. How do you look from this perspective? Is there anything from that this image is revealing to you that will be helpful to you? And now I invite you to become yourself again and continue to feel the qualities and the feelings of wellness within you. Observe the image of wellness. Is there anything that stands in the way of your moving more toward what wellness is in your daily life? What issues or concerns arise as you consider this, and how might you deal with them in a healthy way as you take greater steps toward the wellness within you today? And when you are ready, slowly return to your waking consciousness, remembering what has been important to you in this experience. And when you do exercises like this at home, take time to write down your impressions about your experience. So I invite you to take several deep breaths and allow your awareness to be present here. Become aware of the environment.